Hi, lemons. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Mary. Hi, Justin. Thanks, Mary. Hi, Eric. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Don. Hi, Laura. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Monique. Hey, Leela. Hi, Kelly. Hey, Tater Tot. Hi, Amanda. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Viola. Thank you, Dawn, for the metamorphosis. Thank you, Devin, for the cozy cryptids. Thank you, Mary. Thanks, Kim. Thank you, Dawn, for the intimacy. Happy birthday, Stephen. Good evening, Robert. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Levi. Thank you for the hand hearts. Thank you, Lorna, for the cute gifts. Thanks for the cozy cryptids. Hi, Nami. Hi, Rich. Thank you, Levi. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night. Oh, thanks, Lemons, for the cow napping. I'm here every single night from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself. Hi, Jordan. So you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. That's okay, Bisbee. And I also have all the links in my bio. And if you guys could do me a big favor, if you could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little yellow circle that says repost with 2 arrows chasing each other. That yellow circle puts the live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow our beautiful porch. Also, sharing to your stories and sharing with your friends helps too. And thank you to everybody tapping the screen. Once we get to 10K, they will push us out to the FYP. And feel free to write your story requests in all capital letters in the chat. I'll write them down and then we'll vote. Happy Monday. It is also News Story Monday. Thank you to those of you who came to the premiere at 7 tonight. And if you didn't, don't worry. I will be reading it at about midnight or after. So the new story gets read at midnight usually. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Hi, Trisha. Trisha, I didn't get your print done today because Mondays are so busy, but I'll do it tonight for you, okay? Oh, perfect, Viola. Perfect. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I'm glad you like the new story. Also, just a reminder, if you haven't checked out the story list, it is... Oh, thank you, Trisha, for the star map of Polaris. The story list is on the Discord, and there are over 100 stories for you to request. And if you've never heard one, I highly suggest picking one that sounds enticing and requesting that one. Oh, that's fun. Fairy Witch, did you find anything cool? I feel like every single person is requesting the same 2 stories. Is there a reason for that? Am I missing something? Did I miss a joke? I feel like, did I miss a joke? Oh, you did, Dawn? That's so cool. Deborah, I'm not sure which story the haunted ancient city is. I don't know which one that is. Highly suggest going and looking at the story list for the titles. Hi, Stephen. Oh, thank you, Trisha. It's so pretty. I love the coral. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Michelle. Hi, April. Welcome in. Oh, Taylor, you were excited to see the title? Are you familiar with the legend? Also, you guys do not have to repeat. Please don't repeat your requests multiple times in the chat. I go through and I check it off if someone's asked for a story that someone else asked for, and it throws off the actual count of how in demand a story is. So please don't do that. Thank you. Oh, you do, Taylor? I didn't know you were from Maryland. Cool. It's my first Maryland story. I was like, I gotta do one. I gotta do this one. I love it. Hi, Pixie. Hi, Mermaid. Hi, Nature's Oracle. Cage the Chameleon, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. The new story that premiered tonight, Mermaid. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Thanks, April. Are you Haley? Yeah. I'll read the new story at midnight. So if you can last that long, hopefully. But it's also on my YT channel if you fall asleep. And it is a new cryptid. Thank you, Robin. Happy Monday, everybody. How's everybody's Monday been? All right, guys. Mine was pretty good too. Oh, it's a holiday for you guys? Oh, cool. What holiday is it? Also, you guys, I'm going to set up the first poll. Oh, that's so good, Rich. I'm so glad and I'm so happy for your wife. I bet she's so relieved. All right, guys, I'm going to set up the first poll for us to vote for the first story. And if you could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? And there's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Really, Taylor? Yeah, there's so much like hidden witchcraft in the world that nobody knows about, and I love trying to educate people on that because it's everywhere. Like, here's a fun one. Superheroes, the symbols and the letters that they put on themselves, those are sigils of protection. That's why they have them. And that's why when you cast a sigil, that's what Batman does. When he he casts his sigil. But again, it's okay when it's your favorite comic book hero, but when it's a woman who loves nature, people are like, demonic. So I just like to point out how not evil witchy things are and how they are part of our everyday lives. April, on Wednesdays, it's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, and ask any farmer you know when they plant tomatoes, and they will tell you they only plant them under the full moon. Because that's what the Farmer Almanac says, because the Farmer's Almanac is literally a book of witchcraft. Also known as earth-based belief and spiritual practices. Interesting, right, Lorna? And that's because it's not magic. It's just science we don't understand yet. We don't understand why the moon moves the tides and the water and all the groundwater underneath. But it's not magic to understand that it does, and believe that it does affect all living things because everything has water in it. And then the farmers believe the Farmer's Almanac, and they just do it. But they don't wonder where those instructions came from. And those are rooted in pagan beliefs, which pagans are misconstrued into all kinds of things. But what it comes down to is earth-based spiritual practice. So believing in the frequency of the earth, respecting the earth, all of those things. So and working yourself to align with the cycle of the moon and the cycle of the planets and the seasons, allowing yourself to rest in the winter. and stuff like that. It's a whole practice of life. It's not sitting around casting spells on people and cursing people and sacrifices and stuff. It's literally none of that. That would be like Satanists, and I don't know anything about that because I don't believe in Satan either. So that has nothing to do with witches. But I always like to try to, clear up a lot of the misconceptions, because they kind of group everybody together. And that's kind of like grouping every Christian together. If you're not a Mormon and somebody's like, you damn Mormon, that's kind of, you know what I mean? They're not all the same. And so pagan-based witchcraft is literally just earth-based beliefs. Like the indigenous people of our country, basically the same thing. They called them pagans where my ancestors are from, but over here it's pretty much the same things that the Native Americans, the indigenous people here already believed. So, and most indigenous cultures around the world. So it's not really witchcraft. That's just what European nations and stuff like that deemed it to basically have a genocide on women who were trying to become educated and wanted to own property when their husbands died. So anyway, so thank you for appreciating the, especially since you're from there. It's really cool that I can teach you something new. So next time you're driving past those barns, you'll be like, and you know what's funny is when I was doing research, it said that the locals were like, no, that's not what it is. That's just sensationalized for tourism. We've never heard that. My granny never told me that. My great-granny never told me that. And I'm like, yeah, and they never would have. Witches have had to hide there for centuries. Anything that wasn't Christian practice was hidden into things like quilts and barns and stuff, because they still wanted to protect their family. So they used the ways of the old world that their grandmas taught them, and their grandmas never taught them why. Same with the Haint Blue porches. But when you aren't Christian beliefs and everybody's real aggressive about being Christian, you got to hide that shit. And so there are all kinds of ways it's discreetly in our everyday lives. And it's not demonic or evil or anything like that. It's really not fair, Lorna, because we're supposed to have freedom of religion in this country. And however, for those people who are deemed, what they've villainized as witchcraft, it's pretty much the only one that's not allowed. Well, Satanism too, obviously, and a few of the others, occult ones, but the earth-based one, I don't really understand why there's such a stigma, but it is one that people still judge to this day. So I like to clear it up, because I literally can't even kill a bug. I could never imagine sacrificing an animal in 1,000. I'd rather kill myself. Literally. So a lot of the, like the satanic panic in the 80s and 90s, that was Satanists. Had nothing to do with pagans and witches or anything like that. And you're exactly right, Rich. Yeah. Nature's Oracle. I'm proud of you. Plus, you know that Catholicism is about the witchiest sect of Christianity there is. They invented tarot cards. And now everybody says they're evil, but the Catholics invented tarot cards. And Constantine, the founder of the Catholic Church, he took all the pagan practices and repurposed them to convert people to Christianity. That's why there's Christmas trees. They're actually pagan practice. Which, if you think about it, that lines up. We're very earthy, and we kind of love everything about nature. Sticking a tree in your house, they took that so that they could get pagans to convert more easily, so they could kind of have some of the comforts that they were used to. Same with wreaths. Same with the lights, Christmas lights. All of those are pagan practices. Ornaments on trees used to be fruit and berries and nuts on strings. And popcorn, like corn wreaths and stuff. That's all pagan. Oh yeah, probably Nature's Oracle. That Catholic guilt is a thing. It's like you're raised to have anxiety. Anyway, welcome in, guys. I'm going to set up the first poll so we can vote for the first story. And yes, the new story tonight is fun, and it does incorporate witchcraft that you might not know in everyday life. And it's really cool because Taylor's from where the story's from, and she said she couldn't believe it and she didn't even know, and she drives past them every day. So that makes me really happy when I get to teach people things they don't know. I swear it's like a high for me. I love sharing knowledge. Anyway, I'll be right back with the first poll. Happy Monday. Thank you, Taylor. That means so much. Hi, Leslie. Yeah, Nature's Oracle. That's so fucked up. Thank you, Possum Cat. And thank you, Dennis. I figured with a name like Oracle, you probably did. Oh, Tina, thank you so much. I am actually what is called claircognizant. And if you look it up, it's like one of the clairs, like clairsentient, clairvoyant, all those clear seeing and clear and claircognizant means clear knowing. And I have literally just known all the most random array of information my entire life, and it comes out of nowhere, and sometimes I have no idea where I even learned it or how I know it, but sometimes I know things in great detail that I have never studied, and then I'll look it up later and I'm like, how the hell do I know that? Because it's like totally right. So I have what I've learned over time, over the years, is what they call claircognizance, and it's called clear knowing. So some people get like visions in their head of like something's going to happen. I get kind of what people call downloads, where I just randomly will get a message or randomly get like, but I don't really know what's happening. It just, all of a sudden I just know the information, and then I feel like I should talk about it. It's very weird. But I try not to sound like a know-it-all because I don't know it all. And sometimes I don't even know what I know until it comes out of my mouth. So it's very interesting because sometimes I'm learning pretty much with you guys. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I like look it up later. I'm like, oh my God, that's really cool. Justin, he said Devin is running on iOS 27. Yeah. So if you guys are interested, you've heard of it but never knew what it meant. Yeah. So if you're interested in what claircognizance is, or claircognizant, it's just like cognition and clear. So just like clairvoyance or any of the other ones, it's just called claircognizance. And it's never helped me in math. I'll tell you that. I can't seem to download that information very well, but yes, Rochelle, exactly. Yep. I just remember. Yep. Well, and I believe in the Akashic record. So what I actually think it is I think I'm like the right vibration to pick up on and to be able to like channel the information from the collective. And so I don't think it has really anything to do with like, I think it's just my I'm able to, does that make sense? I also do have a photographic memory, actually. It's called an eidetic memory. But if somebody like, I have to see things to remember them a lot of times. But yeah, So I think the information must come from the collective, like the Akashic record. Does that make sense? I'm assuming. But they don't send me the math information for some reason. So my brain can't compute that. Yes, Rich, it's called an eidetic memory. You can look it up. Scientists argue that it doesn't really exist or something, but it absolutely does. I remember outfits people wore 20 years ago. Like in exact instances. Because I can still see it. I remember signs of places. And so it's definitely, there are those of us that have visual memory. But I can't remember numbers for shit. So again, I am very impaired when it comes to numbers. Yes, you're right, Rochelle. It's very common with people who have ADHD and on the spectrum. Yeah, Rachel, that's how I am. I can almost do total recall. Like I have an insane memory. But it honestly also depends. You know what I mean? There's certain information I just don't retain because I guess I don't file it as important or something. Justin, I can't. I can't. But that would be cool. That's crazy. Time and dates? That's insane. Wow. I'm not that good. All right, guys, the poll is ready. We have the black dog, Paint Blue, the Melon Heads, Poplar Creek, and the Old Lighthouse. Nail Addiction, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. And you can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box, and you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. And also, just to make anybody who, like you said, you can't remember anything, if you have children, I don't. And guess what? Kids fill up your entire memory. So I'm not remembering medicines, birthdays, school schedules, practices, teachers' names, book reports, blah, 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 the 5 million fucking things that you guys have to remember every single day. So just remember that and don't feel bad that your memory isn't very good. You're literally raising a little human that requires you to fill your brain with all this information that is not yours. So of course you've cleared out some of your own memories because you're filling it with your little humans. You know what I mean? Of course, Amanda, being a mother is and a father and being a parent is incredibly taxing. It is like, I mean, they show in animals, offspring like drains their, a lot of parent species die after they have, you know what I mean? Like it is incredibly draining. So do not feel bad if your memory's not that good and you have, there's only so much bandwidth. And if you are raising little ones, your memories for random shit you guys did 20 years ago is going to be shit because you filed that away as not as important as what my kid's allergic to. You know what I mean? So you are amazing. And who gives a fuck if you don't remember stuff you did in college, right? Nobody. So that's the only reason I have a good memory at all is because I'm not juggling the life of 4 other people. It's just me, dude, and Merlin. You know what I mean? So don't be hard on yourselves. Yeah, Wilkins, legit. So those of you raising kids, don't be so hard on yourself. You've got little, basically parasitic creatures that you're raising until they can go out on their own. You are like their life. So you don't get to have as much of one. You know what I mean? And it's, yeah, of course, you guys. I admire you guys that can do it. It's admirable. Oh, the winner is the old lighthouse. You're going to tell your son that he's a parasite. And I mean that jokingly, obviously. Travis is coming back, you guys. Uh-oh. Buckle up. Yeah, Robin. I love that term for them. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. And welcome to the porch. I'll be right back with the tale of the old lighthouse. Really, Kim? I love that. Tamara said no, they are. Yeah, they really are, Robin. Yeah. That's okay, Viola. You'll get the next one. Yeah, Star. I believe it. I believe it because I feel that way about Merlin and I didn't even birth him. I don't even know if my heart could honestly handle having, like, you know what I mean? I don't even know. I think I'm too emotional for that. I don't think my heart could handle it. Oh, Holly. Yeah, pass out. You need the rest. Guess what, guys? We got a new lighthouse sticker. I'm sorry, guys. TikTok Studio changed the shape of the view and it's messing up all of my backgrounds. So if you guys see the backgrounds wiggling more than usual tonight, I'm going to have to figure out how to fix it. But it's different. That's all I can try to explain. But it's rounded now on the edges and not squared. And it's like cutting off. It's showing like the background at the top. It's very annoying. So I'm sorry if you guys see them wiggling around a little bit till I get it right, because they changed it. And okay, Trisha, I'll write it down. Kim, did it really do that? Why does it look like that? I thought maybe I clicked the wrong view or something. Why is it rounded on the edges and skinnier? It's annoying. Well, yeah, you can. You guys can't see it, but I can on my end, and it makes it to where I can't find the corner of the image to switch it. Because like I have to drag it down. That's what I'm saying. I have to wiggle it for you guys. So when I first add the backgrounds, and when I remove them, it's not going to be smooth until I figure out how to do this. Just a warning. Because usually it's smoother than it's going to be because I don't even know how to drag it down. So. New sticker. No, the background's new. This is the new lighthouse background. Oh, that's because I call them stickers. Sorry. I have them labeled as live stickers so that they're the background because that's what they're called on when I upload them. But it's the background. Sorry. I didn't mean sticker. That's just my back end file name for them so that I keep them separate from the live files. Yeah, Ellie, that's why we do print requests. If you ever want a background, just write in all capital letters print request, and I will put it on the merch store in a framed print. And Trisha just requested it, so I'll put it up probably tonight. Hi, Mystic. Thanks, Robin. I appreciate it. All right, guys, be right back. Good one, Wilkins. Thank you, Dennis. Hi, Alchemist. Yay, I'm glad you're here. Hi, New Jersey Snow White. Thank you, Rachel. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the old lighthouse. That's funny, Nature's Oracle. I like that joke. She said, why do pirates not take a shower before they walk the plank? Because they just wash up on shore. Why, Omar? I know, it's really cute, right? And Omar said, why shrimp don't share? Why, Omar? I love when you guys share jokes. Because they're a little shellfish. That's because they're a little shellfish. That was really cute, Omar. Thank you, Mystic. Thanks, Rachel. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the old lighthouse. Hi, Tiffany. So, if you guys didn't know, my boyfriend's name is Travis. And Travis and I needed a break from the city. Hi, Angela. We didn't want to fly anywhere far, so just a quick drive to somewhere isolated and peaceful would be great. After some searching, we found this old lighthouse on the coast of Maine that had been converted into a rental. It was perfect. Secluded, right on the edge of the ocean, and surrounded by nothing but cliffs and waves. We booked it immediately. I don't know why Snow White. The drive was about 6 hours and we arrived just as the sun was setting. The lighthouse was exactly as advertised. Tall, white, and weathered by years of salt and wind. It stood on a jagged cliff with a narrow dirt path leading to it. The owner, an older man named Harold, met us at the door. He was friendly enough, but there was something about him. He kept glancing over his shoulder at the ocean like he was expecting something to come out of the water. He gave us a quick tour, handed us the keys, and left without another word. The inside of the lighthouse was cozy but eerie. The walls were lined with old nautical maps and black and white photos of ships. The spiral staircase leading up to the lantern room creaked with every step, and the windows were fogged with salt. But the view, it was breathtaking. You could see the ocean stretching out for miles, the waves crashing against the rocks below. It was exactly what I needed. We unpacked, made some dinner, and settled in for the night. The first night was uneventful, just the sound of waves and the occasional gust of wind rattling the windows. But the next morning, things started to get weird. Travis woke up before me. I am not a morning person. And so he decided to explore the lantern room at the top of the lighthouse. His frantic stomping back down the stairs woke me up. He looked pale. I asked him what was wrong and he told me there was something up there. Thank you, Jamie. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Bone and Branch. I laughed it off at first. But then I could tell he was serious. He said he saw a shadow moving in the corner of the room, and when he turned to look, there was nothing there. I didn't really think much of it, to be honest. Old buildings like this are full of creaks and shadows. But later that day, we decided to explore the area around the lighthouse. There was a small trail that led to the beach, and we thought it would be nice to take a walk. As we were walking, Travis pointed out something in the sand. It It was a pair of footprints, small like a child's. Thank you, Bone and Branch. But they were leading toward the water, not away from it. And they just stopped. Like whoever made them had walked into the ocean and never came back. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Mama. We tried to brush it off, but the rest of the day felt weird. The air was heavier. When we got back to the lighthouse, we noticed something strange. The door to the lantern room was open. I know, Angela Travis. But we were sure we had closed it earlier. Travis went up to check, and when he came back down, he was shaking. He said he heard whispering, faint, like it was coming from the walls. But when he tried to listen closer, it stopped. That night, things got worse. We were sitting in the living room watching a movie when we heard a loud thud upstairs. We both froze. Travis grabbed a flashlight and went to check it out, but he didn't find anything. When he came back down, he looked even more shaken. He said that the air upstairs got cold, like someone had opened a window, but all the windows were locked. We tried to go to bed early, but neither of us could sleep. Around 2 a.m., we heard it again. A loud thud. Followed by the sound of footsteps on the spiraled staircase. That's a good one, Fairy Witch. This time we both went to investigate. The staircase was empty, but when we got to the lantern room, the lantern, the one that hadn't been lit in decades, was glowing faintly. And in the corner of the room, there was a shadow. It was small, like a child. But it didn't move, it just stood there watching us. We ran back downstairs and locked ourselves in the bedroom. Travis wanted to leave right then. But it was pitch black outside, and the nearest town was hours away. So we decided to wait until morning. But the rest of the night was a nightmare. We heard footsteps pacing outside our door, and at one point the doorknob even started rattling. Travis grabbed his knife and stood by the door, ready to defend us if it opened. But it never did. Kim. When the sun finally came up, we packed our things as fast as we could and we got the hell out of there. As we were driving away, I looked back at the lighthouse. For a split second, I thought I saw a figure standing in the lantern room watching us leave. But when I blinked, it was gone. Thank you, Mystic. We didn't talk much on the drive home. When we got back, I did some research on the lighthouse. Thanks, Mystic. Turns out it had a dark history. In the early 1900s, a family lived there. A lighthouse keeper, his wife, and their young son. One night during a storm, the wife and son disappeared. The lighthouse keeper claimed they had been swept out to sea, but their bodies were never found. Some people believe he had killed them and hidden their bodies in the lighthouse. The lighthouse was abandoned for years after that, until Harold bought it and turned it into an Airbnb. I don't know what we experienced that weekend. But either way, I'll never forget the feeling of being watched and hearing the sound of those footsteps and the sight of that little child's shadow in the lantern room. Hi, Angel Mom. Thank you. And that's the tale of the old lighthouse, featuring Travis, my boyfriend that everybody hates. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning, usually a little later. I do write and record all of these stories myself. They are original content, and they are all available for you to listen to whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I'm going to set up the next poll for us to vote for the next story. So if you guys could do me a big favor while I'm pulling that up. Thanks, Maureen. I appreciate that so much. It helps when you really like what you're doing. Thanks, Mystic. Hi, Jade. That's so kind of you to say, Maureen. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I will set up the next poll for us to vote. And if you guys could hit that share arrow for me. There's a little yellow circle, and it has two arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Oh, your husband likes Porch Lore now? Yay, Mamasaurus. I'm so glad I can help him sleep. That's what I'm here for. I love it. Norman, thanks for the follow, and welcome to the porch. Also, guys, thank you for tapping. We are already at over 100,000 taps. You guys are amazing. Thank you for sharing to your stories and sharing with your friends too. I'm so glad. Thank you, Mama. That's so sweet. Tell him I'm glad he's here. All right, guys, I will be right back with the next poll. Happy Monday. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, and welcome to the porch. Oh, yes, Mary. Delilah's a national treasure. If I can be the spooky Delilah, I would be honored. Thank you, Songbird, for the beautiful gifts. Possum said, what do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. A porch pirate. Porch pirates steal packages. No, you can't steal my packages. Yeah, Rich. They've been calling me that since I started Porch Lore, and I love it so much. Hello, Archangel Michael. How are you? Justin, I'm going to let you take over joke pinning pinning the joke and pinning the answer because I can't keep up with it. Thanks, Mackenzie. There's so many jokes flying right now, and it's hard for me to try to find the other one. It's just, I'm doing a lot back here. All right, you guys. Then, oh wait, what do you get when you cross a parrot with a caterpillar? A walkie-talkie. A walkie-talkie. All right, you guys. The next poll is ready. No, I'm not going to ignore your jokes, Mystic. Wait, where'd she say? Where's Mystic's joke? I don't see Mystic's joke. See, I can't do this. I'm bad at this. Where is it? Fuck. I just see her say move on over, but I don't see the joke. Mystic, put your cow joke again. What do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think he saw us? That's a good one, Oracle. That actually wasn't Merlin. That was just me setting down the stories request book. It just sounded really loud because my mic enhances everything. All right, you guys. The next poll is ready. LJ, thanks for the follow and welcome to the porch. Okay, guys. We have the water babies, Paint Blue, Winding Road, the Crawl Space, and the Night at Cahokia. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. Oh no, Chedsy, oh no. There's a blue box with where you can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. Who's it gonna be, guys? Hi, Megan. Maureen, thanks for the cow napping. It's so cute. Pippa Cahokia is in southern Illinois, right across the Mississippi River from St. Louis. It's an archaeological site where I did my archaeological field school. Hi, Riverman. It's a major mound site, and it's a World Heritage Site, and it's phenomenal. It's an amazing place. Really, Riverman? Cool. On the Illinois side, I lived in Lebanon, Illinois for a summer doing a dig there. And we shopped for groceries in O'Fallon. Yes, brick roads indeed. Population of like 400, I think. How do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it. That's a good one. Thank you, Megan, for the window. That window reminds me of Peter Pan. Uh-oh, Mary. I think that just means you're starting to love more stories. Andrew, thank you for the follow and welcome to the porch. Yeah, I actually really loved Lebanon. It was just really quaint and cute in there. Just one big main street, lots of beautiful old houses with the alleys that go behind them, you know. It was a really awesome summer. It was a neat experience. Which one's Megan? I mean, which one's Mary? Eclipse, not the country. There's a small town in Illinois where they call it Lebanon. It's spelled like Lebanon, but it's Lebanon, Illinois. It's where I did the archaeological excavation. It was a satellite site of Cahokia. Good night, Amanda. Sweet dreams. I hope you feel better. No, we read the new one at midnight. Did anybody see which one won? It disappeared on my phone for some reason. Oh, Cahokia. I see it. I didn't realize I could look it back up on my computer. I can find it again because it disappears off the phone. Yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. Sorry. They changed a lot on this next update. All right, guys, I will be right back with the tale of the night at Cahokia. And if you guys could do me a favor while I'm pulling that up and hit that share arrow, that little yellow circle with two arrows chasing each other, that puts my live into your friends' FYPs when you repost it. Okay, Peter. Did you send it to my email? All right, guys, and I will be right back. Hi, Rochelle, with the next story. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Happy Monday. Like, how is TikTok going to change the dimensions of their screen? Like, every single background I have is now the wrong size. This is insane. I cannot stand this app, dude. Thank you for the follow, Black Butterfly. Welcome in. Thank you, Mary. It's like this app does not get me shit about its creators. And they just keep adding stuff that no one's asking for. Like, my God. But thank you. Yeah, I did have to just figure it out on the fly, and it's insane. But like, see, look, my logo is cut off now. Do you see that? See, look, I have to move it over. My logo at the top. And then it's not cut off there. And then if I move it over here, it's cut off. And these were all the exactly right size. And now what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because it's not a seamless transition if I don't do it like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell are they thinking? I fucking cannot stand this app. And they're so annoying. Anyway, I think that's better. But then the whole bottom's not. Yeah, this is ridiculous. They're the worst. Anyway, be right back. They really did, Phyllis. They really, really did. Like, what the hell? That's so cool, Peter. I'll have to check it out. Hi, Luigi. How are you? Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, they really have, Deborah. It's crazy. Like, my whole logo at the top's cut off. And these are all like, I make these individual backgrounds formatted for the size of the screen that they have and for the program that they have, and they just changed it to where now this is all oversized. How the hell is that? Like, it's crazy, but it still looks fine on YT. So once again, it's TikTok, because this is like standard sizing for all the other apps too. YT's having no problem with it. I'm good, Luigi. How are you? Oh, you said you're fine. Good. I'm glad. Are you still in Italy? And thank you, Courtney, for the donuts. They really do, Mary. Thank you, Deborah. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Palace Society. This is the tale of my night at Cahokia. Archangela, that's exactly what they're doing because they want to get us to leave. That's why they forced it to be sold to America so they could run it into the ground. They don't want us to have access to what the rest of the people in the world are doing in free speech, but they don't want to look like a communist dictator. So then instead of taking it away from us like they tried to do, remember? Instead, they just forced the sale and now they're running it into the ground on purpose. So they are trying to get rid of creators. They are trying to get rid of you guys. They are trying to get us to, they're trying to run the app into the ground. All apps have their lifespan and they are trying to expedite the American version of TikTok into obsolescence. And it sounds like some conspiracy, but it's absolutely not. If you were a creator, you would absolutely understand. They are doing this on purpose to us. They are running this app into the ground. I'll probably get a restriction after saying it, but Oracle bought it. Give it a goog. They bought this app and they are like BlackRock. They're running it into the ground because they don't want us to have access to free speech and instant lives of other people in the world. They don't want us to see that, like, I don't know, every other first world country has healthcare. They don't want us to be able to talk about the injustices and tell other countries in the UN what's happening. Stuff like that. They want it all Meta. Because guess what? The guy who owns Meta was one of the largest donors for our current president ever. So just throwing that out there, that it is on purpose. So all of the constant glitches you hear all of us complaining about, it is on purpose. Yep, Twana, 100%. Yep. So anyway, we love TikTok Shop. I buy everything on TikTok Shop. Anyway, be right back, quick swig. That's why I always highly recommend everybody, please subscribe to my YT channel as well, because I do go live there every single night as well. I am live there right now in case anything ever happens with this place, and also feel free to, I'm live here every night at 10 and I premiere a new one of these stories every Monday at 7 p.m. on my YT channel. So feel free to follow your favorite creators on other apps as well, because so you don't lose touch with us. It would make me really sad if, Oh, thank you so much, Abigail. That's so kind. Yeah, pretty much, Deborah. Yep, pretty much. I've bought a few things, Robin, and I've liked everything I've gotten. Like the light I use on my Wednesday lives, I got on TikTok Shop, and it's really cool. It really is, Kim. It's all just shop. No, Robin, I stopped doing the T-Witch because I researched their algorithm and they don't actually push anybody. It's only based off of your followers. Like, it's completely based off number of followers. They don't put new accounts out in FYP at all. So, and I'm not a gamer. So I'm not going to amass a following over there unless they're putting me out to people to scroll through and see. And they don't do it. And I literally was doing it every night it's follower based. The algorithm's completely different. And once I realized that, there's literally no point because I'm not going to spend a year cultivating a presence on that app. I'm not a gamer. And so, yes, I do have a Patreon. I do have one. But yeah, so I stopped the T-Witch because it is also very hard on my computer to have multiple streams going. That's why I had to get a new computer to be able to stream on YT to begin with. And I don't really want to max out my computer for Justin, who was literally the only person sitting over on T-Witch, making sure that no trolls came in because Justin's the best. So I figured for my mods and for myself, sanity-wise, we don't need 3 wheels rolling at the same time if it's literally going to result in nothing. So Justin said it was fun. So I stopped streaming over there, I think 2 weeks ago. It's just, it was pointless. And joined my YT. Thank you, Leela. Thank you so much. It was just a bunch of bots. The only comments were bots about getting AI viewers. Click here. It was crazy. It was just a waste of time. I didn't get any trolls. I just got AI bots telling me to buy my viewers on AI, which is, I'm sure, how they scam people into getting more followers. It was crazy. Oh yeah, Twana. I just can't say it. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of my night at Cahokia. Hey Sharp, one of my mods already answered you. How about you stop asking? Maybe get an attention span, boo-boo. This story is about Illinois and an ancient city that once rivaled London in size. About grassy hills that aren't really hills at all. Justin. And about something I saw one night. Something I still can't explain. This is my experience at Cahokia Mounds. Snarky Arky, that sounds really cute. Hello, good night, Artemo, or Artemio. It started one summer. I'd been dealing with life stuff and, you know, the sort of restlessness that settles into your bones, that feeling like you're moving but you're not going anywhere. Thank you, Millie. I needed to do something. I needed out. Not a spa weekend, not a Netflix binge. I needed to go somewhere. Somewhere with history. And that's when I decided to return to Cahokia. Close, he said. Artemio. Artemio? Okay, art. That's when I decided to return to Cahokia. I had minored in archaeology in college, and I was lucky enough to spend my field school experience at Cahokia. That's right. I spent one of the best summers of my life in a tiny town in southern Illinois, right along the mighty Mississippi. Right, Twana? I love you, Twana. You're so cute. Cahokia is massive, and for some reason, we're not taught about it in school. Thanks, Kim. Every American should know about this magnificent site. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Megan. But unless you're into archaeology or you live in the area, it's doubtful that you've ever even heard of Cahokia. It's an archaeological site just outside St. Louis, right across the river in Illinois. And once, over 1,000 years ago, it was the largest city in not just North America. It was larger than London at the time. It was bigger than Paris at the time. And no, I'm not kidding. This sprawling metropolis had tens of thousands of residents. Huge wooden temples, markets, fortifications, and the most prominent feature, mounds and a pyramid. That's right, there is a pyramid in the United States, and we don't learn about it. There were dozens and dozens of massive earthen mounds. Some for burials, some for ceremonies, and some we still don't even know. And something took a hold of me when I spent the summer there. And ever since then, I have been low-key obsessed with Cahokia. It's never left my mind. So, I booked a room in nearby Collinsville, and I planned a solo weekend trip to visit the site and take in the magical energy of the place. I figured I'd soak in some prehistoric vibes, maybe do a little writing, and just reset my inner compass. But what I got was something else entirely. When I got to Collinsville, it was gray and overcast. The kind of sky that feels heavy, like it's full of secrets. And I don't know if you've been to that part of the United States, but they call it the American bottom for a reason. It is an abnormally humid part of the Midwest. So I was sweating, and I wanted to freshen up and change clothes. My motel was nothing special, your basic super cheap roadside place where the door opens to the parking lot. But it had a view of Monk's Mound in the distance. That's the pyramid. It's the biggest mound at Cahokia. It's over 100 feet tall, and it was built entirely by hand, one basket of dirt at a time. Imagine moving an entire mountain using only woven baskets. And they did it for a reason. I spent the day at the Interpretive Center, which, by the way, is incredibly well done. I love it there. It explains the rise and fall and what they think happened to this city, to this Mississippian culture. How they tracked the stars with their own wooden version of Stonehenge, called Woodhenge. The original wooden posts obviously aren't there anymore, but They have a reproduction of it where the Woodhenge once stood, and it's awesome. The people of Cahokia built ceremonial plazas larger than football fields. And then, around 1350, they just disappeared. No one knows exactly why. Some say climate change, some say internal strife, some whisper about disease, but there's a theory I've heard more often than once, even from the park volunteers, that something was left behind when the people left. I just laughed it off. The next day I woke up before dawn, filled my thermos with coffee, and I drove back to the site. I really wanted to climb Monk's Mound while the sun came up. I hadn't done it in years. It's a long stairway over 150 steps, and by the time I reached the top, I was out of breath and sweating under my hoodie. But the view, it's worth every step. From the summit, I could see the vast layout of the ancient city, the grand plaza below, the low rolling mounds stretching in every direction. And beyond that, the distant city skyline of St. Louis, which looked absurdly modern and fragile compared to the enduring earthwork beneath my feet. And that's when I noticed something odd. There was a figure down below, near the edge of the forest bordering the site. I could tell it wasn't a ranger, wasn't wearing a uniform, but it didn't move. Was I just seeing things? I blinked and rubbed my eyes and I looked again and it was gone. I think maybe it was just a trick of light. That night, sleep was out of the question. I tossed and turned. By midnight, I gave up trying to sleep. So I put on my boots, grabbed my headlamp and an inadequate flashlight, and I got in the car. I was just going to go back to Cahokia. Something was drawing me there. Now, I want to be very clear that I didn't plan on doing anything illegal. I wasn't trying to trespass or vandalize. I just thought I'd drive by the site again, park outside the gate, maybe take a few pictures from the road. As I pulled up near the main entrance, I was struck by how still everything was. There was no wind, no crickets, no night birds. And I remember when I did my dig here, they were very aggressive killdeers at night. Weird. I parked the car, stepped out, and I immediately got that creeping sensation that I was being watched. The hair on the back of my neck stood straight up. And then I saw something move at the edge of the mounds. It wasn't a deer, and it wasn't a coyote. Yes, Justin, the ceiling was missing. It was tall and lanky, almost skeletal. And it moved like it didn't quite understand how joints worked, like a marionette being tugged by a puppeteer. It was horrifying. My inadequate flashlight was still in my coat pocket, but I didn't dare to reach for it. Instead, I crouched down low and I hid behind a tree and I waited. I watched the thing, whatever it was, as it walked slowly across the open plaza, heading towards the smaller mounds. and then it vanished behind one of the smaller burial mounds. And the moment it disappeared, all the sounds came back. The crickets, the wind, the frogs, a dog barking in the distance. It was like a spell had been lifted. That should have been my cue to get in my car and leave, but I can't tell you why. I just had to know more. I walked to the perimeter of the fence and I found a break in the far side. Not locked, just a chain gate left slightly ajar. So I slipped in. Once I was inside the site, the air felt electric. The inadequate flashlight cast a weak beam, barely strong enough to reach the next mound. The place is vast, and you don't really realize it in the daylight, but at night it seems endless. Mounds in every direction, rows of them. Some so small you could mistake them for natural rises. Others are large enough to block out the horizon. I followed the direction I'd seen the thing go, past Mound 72. That one had a reputation in the archaeology world. Archaeologists had found over 270 bodies buried there. Mostly young women. Sacrifices, some say. But the most unnerving part, the layout was ritualistic. The bones were arranged in deliberate patterns aligned with the sun. I didn't go up on Mound 72. I knew better than to step on something that sacred. But that's when I heard it. A low, rhythmic sound. Like chanting, faint, carried on the wind. I followed it. I know, dumb move, but I almost felt like I had to, like I was entranced. As I neared the woods that lined the edge of the site, the chanting stopped. It just cut off mid-syllable. And then I stepped into a small clearing surrounded by saplings. In the center of the clearing, partially buried in the ground, was a ring of stones. Smooth, dark, perfectly aligned in a circle. They looked like they'd been placed there a long time ago. And in the middle of the circle, there was a hole, a really deep one. I crouched at the edge and I shined my inadequate flashlight down. Dirt, rocks, and faint impressions like claw marks on the inside of the walls of the shaft. And then behind me, I heard breathing. I didn't turn around right away. I was too scared. The sound of the breathing was so close I could feel the exhale against the back of my neck. Every instinct in my body screamed to run. But something told me not to move. Not yet. The breathing got louder, followed by a soft shuffling like feet dragging through leaves. Finally, I took a deep breath, and I turned around slowly, inadequate flashlight in hand. And there was nothing there. Nothing visible anyway. But the air felt thick. And the circle of stones behind me seemed to pulse with energy. I swear to God, it felt alive. The ground felt alive. And then my inadequate flashlight flickered once, twice, and then it went out. I panicked, slapping it, trying to get it to work. When it finally blinked back on, the beam landed on something that I will never forget. It stood just beyond the circle, watching me. Sorry guys, I just got a restriction for a blank screen or blurry scenes. See, I'm gonna have to redo this background too. They keep talking shit about all of the backgrounds that are old because they're not like 4K. I'm so sick of this fucking app. Yep. Anyway, I'll restart the live after this story. They can fuck off. It stood just beyond the circle, half in the woods, half in view. Maybe 7 feet tall. It was gaunt. Its skin was mottled gray, almost translucent. And its eyes, they were too low. They were sunken in near the jawline. And they were glowing a faint amber color. Its mouth was wide, unnaturally wide. I couldn't see any teeth, just blackness inside. I didn't move. It didn't move. We just watched each other. I stepped back and my heel hit the edge of a giant pit and stumbled. I didn't fall in, but I was way too close. When I looked back up, the thing was gone. I heard no rustling, no sound. It was just gone. I jumped up and I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't care where I was going. I just ran through the darkness, tripping over roots and half-buried stones. At one point, I clipped a mound and I rolled halfway down the side, scraping my arm, but I didn't even care. I found the gate, the same one I'd come through, but I swear it looked like it was closed now. What the hell? But when I hit it, it swung right open. I dove through it and I didn't stop until I reached my car. Only once I was locked inside my car shaking with my engine roaring did I dare look back. And I saw it at the tree line, just beyond the mounds. It was there, still watching me. I drove for over an hour before stopping. I stopped at a tiny 24-hour gas station off the interstate. I stumbled inside for some coffee and bandages. The cashier, an old man who looked like he'd been working there since the 1970s, looked at me and nodded. Like he knew. And he asked if I had come from the mounds. I nodded. He poured my coffee and told me that I shouldn't have gone at night. He didn't answer right away. He just tapped the counter with his finger and stared past me like he was watching something only he could see. I left the gas station with my skin crawling. For weeks after, I swear I'd catch glimpses of something tall in the corners of my mirrors. Or I'd see shapes moving across my yard at night, just beyond the fence. I've never gone back to Koki at night. And I never will. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. That's what happens when people request ones they haven't heard before. All right, guys, I'm going to restart the live on TikTok. People on YT, don't worry about it. Your app isn't a piece of shit, and you can stay exactly where you are. TikTok, feel free to come right back. I'm just going to end it, restart it, and come right back, and then we will move forward with the new story of the week. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I know, Crystal, this app is just a joke. Complete bullshit. Be right back, guys. Hi, Witchy Fairy. Hi, guys. I'm just giving it a second to like settle. Hi, Paul. Hi, Megan. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Eric. Thanks for coming over here, guys. It's getting party over here on YT. Mary, thanks for the beautiful flower. Hi, Randy. I knew when I called out TikTok for being corrupt, I knew they were going to give me a restriction. I can't watch my damn mouth sometimes. I'm so justice triggered by things. I really just can't help it, y'all. I really just can't help it. And I knew it. And I knew they were just going to make up something. And they, hi, First Light. And they did. They just made up blurry image. Because they wanted me to shut up. So that's what the not communist China run app is like now, right? Isn't that why they sold it? Because it was run by communists who were trying to control it. Isn't that right? Yeah. So what a joke. What a joke. Our freedom of speech is gone on that app. Oh, thank you guys. Thanks, Cassie. All right. No, not yet, Mary. I was just letting it settle for a minute because you have to kind of let it reset. Okay, I'm live over there again, guys. Thank you, Randy. Yay, Siren. Woohoo, finally. Thank you, Megan. Hi, so very ordinary. Hi, Lindsay. Cassie, thank you. Cassie, oh my God, thank you. You're so sweet. And yes, I just restarted TikTok, guys. Okay, good, Cassie. Yeah, but that's what it wants everybody to do. That's the point. There was no verbal beatdown. I just asked you not to send me videos that I can't look at while I'm literally live because you're not in my live and you're watching other videos. Like, you can at least wait. You can at least wait till I'm not live. That's it. I'll still watch them, just like maybe when I'm not live. Thank you for the star map of Polaris Archangelo. If you guys could do me a big favor and please hit the share arrow. No, I meant wait until after my live to send me things to watch from the same app that I'm currently live on, so I can't watch them. That's what I meant. What happened, Nate? What was a figment of your imagination? Anyway, if you guys could please hit the share arrow for me in the bottom right hand corner. There is a yellow circle with two arrows chasing each other that says repost, and that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Thank you, Bambino. Welcome in. Yeah, Cassie, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, if you guys could please also put lots of keywords in the chat that pertain to what the live is about, that'd be really appreciated. Things like, are you afraid of the dark? Goosebumps, supernatural, paranormal, Bigfoot, Mothman, Sasquatch, Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, scary, paranormal, storytelling, anything like that. Please refrain from using the tag ASMR. That does bring in the people who send those sound gifts. So we're no longer allowed to use that one, apparently, because again, they're ruining this app on purpose. So if you could refrain from the ASMR one, I'd appreciate it. And I like the Jimothy one, Rich. That's a nice touch. That made me smile. Fucking love Jimothy. God, I love him. Anyway, we're going to brush off the restriction and we're going to move forward. I'm going to wait for a few more people to get in here because the next story is the new one and people will bitch and freak out if I read it and they aren't back yet. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. Check out the shooting stars in the sky and welcome to the porch. And thank you guys for sharing, reposting, tapping, all the good things. And we'll be right back with the new story. Happy Monday. JB Social, it was for a blurry images or a black screen. AKA, they slammed me for talking the truth about the app and they just made up some shit because that's what they do. I'm one of the only people on this app that's like creating original content. Like, they can fuck off. Anyway. Because no, battling is not original content. Sorry. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . And I'm pissed. And here's the thing. Kim is a natural stand-up comedian. She's the funniest human I've ever fucking known in my life. And she does reaction lives, comedy reaction lives, and they give her restrictions every single day. Every single day. Anna, it is Monday. Yep, every single live. Yep, Twana, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to if the live gets a lot of gifts, they don't give you restrictions. That's what it comes down to. And it sucks. That's why the battlers get away with it. That's why the messy talk people get away with it. That's why that one that was pretending to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson for Make-A-Wish, literally committing a federal crime, was not restricted when me and my friends reported them for a whole week. Yep. I did appeal it already, and they did not approve. Because they didn't like that I was talking truth about them, so they gave me a bullshit restriction. And they just make up something. It's like when a cop pulls you over for your license plate light or some other stupid shit. It's the it's the fake stop to get to see what, you know what I mean? It's the fake shit. Caroline, thank you so much for the star map of Polaris and the manifesting. And Millie, thanks for the cow napping. And Neil, thanks for the cow napping. That gift is so cute. Yes, Lex, I do. I write all of these. But I will say this. Hi, Echo Fang. I will say this, though. The ones that are bedtime stories, yes, I write the scenario, but a lot of them are based off of actual people's reported accounts. And I just put myself in the shoes. So I do not make up the creatures, nor most of the situations. Sometimes I do, if there's just a creature and I can't find anybody's like firsthand, you know what I mean? But overall, I do write them, but I can't take credit for the monsters and the creature, like that stuff, if that makes sense. I don't make up. I am just, it's kind of like a news reporter writes their own stories. You know what I mean? I'm just relaying the folklore. So, you know what I mean? I'm not like, what would they call, like it doesn't feel like a nonfiction, or I mean, it doesn't feel like fiction writing. Does that make sense? I'm not like making, I'm not a fiction writer. Does that make sense? People always ask me if I would write, and I'm like, I do write fiction, but it's based off truth. Does that make sense? And so, I don't know if like I'd be able to just like make a whole world and pull out a whole, you know what I mean? Like novel authors do. I'm not that kind of writer. Oh, thank you, Caroline. I appreciate it. That means so much. Thank you. Yeah, an adaptation. Yeah, it is definitely valid, Gabriel. Thank you. And it's still writing. It's still not easy. But I just like to make clear, because sometimes people be like, you made this up. And I'm like, no, I wrote it, but I didn't make it up. If that makes sense. There is a difference. There's a line between whether I wrote something and did I make it up. You know what I mean? And people kind of use that interchangeably. So I just like to emphasize that I write them all, but I don't make them up. Oh, that's cool, Peter. That's very cool. Like all of mine take place, you know, in our world, in our dimension, and that kind of thing. And what I feel like I'm telling is stuff that I believe in, usually. Not all the cryptids. I don't believe in all of them, but stuff that was, like, so it's not really fiction to me. Does that make sense? Yeah. But thank you so much. I still do put a lot of work into writing them. And some weeks I can't decide. People are like, you don't write it till the end. I'm like, no, I literally have like 3 going at a time. And sometimes one really turns out better. And the one I was planning on, that's why I never tell you guys what story it's going to be, because I made that mistake once with the jinn. And then I didn't realize how culturally important it is to Muslim people. And I needed to do more research, and I didn't feel like it was good enough. And so, like, I do put a lot of work into them, but in terms of like the creatures and stuff, they are not made up by me. Thanks, Winter. Yeah. But I actually don't really read fiction either. I'm kind of a nerd, and you guys would never believe the stuff I read. I read stuff that pretty much I've never met another person that finds what I read interesting. You wrote a story about a lost sock dimension where your odd socks come alive. Peter, you're silly. All right, guys. I don't think we're gonna get back the 400 that we had, but I feel bad because they're gonna miss the new story. Gardening magazines. I actually, no, I don't. But that's a funny guess, Paul. Yeah, good point, Justin. Thank you, Peter. Gabriel, I read the Department of Ethnology journals. You heard me right. The Department of Ethnology doesn't exist anymore. In the 1800s, they sent these dudes out to go out and document. It was basically before archaeology was a study. Before archaeology was turned into a science, they had the Department of Ethnology, and I collect those rare books. I have only a couple, but they are from the 1800s bound, and they are direct journals basically from the dudes who went out and documented all the mounds and all the other things, the ancient cultures that I studied in school, and then it was all destroyed. So the only way I will ever have access to that information and itch my brain on the mystery that is the mound builders is finding books like that, written by the dudes who got to see them before they were all plowed down and turned into everything. So I read field journals from archaeologists and the journals from the indigenous scouts who accompanied them and stuff like that. Yes, Winter. That's also a goal of mine, is to keep my memory very sharp for a long time. Oh, thanks, Happily. It's really nerdy. And then I also have this big book that shows all of the layouts from like an aerial viewpoint of all the ancient archaeological sites in the world. And I just like to look at it sometimes because I'm such a nerd. I think the sites are really fucking cool, and I like to see the layouts and the way they resemble each other in different cultures. And like so I'm literally a hardcore nerd. So I don't read fiction. I read stuff that literally people would think is homework. Because I'm really a strange gal. So that's what I read, because you guys said you were so curious, and I made it sound so mysterious and intriguing, but it's really not that cool. It's actually really really nerdy. and not in Washington State possum, the Mississippian culture. They were mostly along the Mississippi River, but they stretched all the way to Georgia and all the way down to Texas. And so Mississippian is a loose term, but they basically traded, especially in my area of expertise, the lithic tools. They traded, like we would find tools in Illinois made out of root beer chert from Texas, which is cool. And Kogi was a major trading site, so people were they were riding the Mississippi and they were trading with each other. They're like, hey, I got this really cool rock I got at the quarry in Texas. You want to trade it for some of the pink shit you have here in Illinois? And they were like, yeah, cool. And then they'd get back and they'd have cooler tools than everybody else. And so it's just fascinating. It's just really cool, because we think that nobody had transportation, but they were literally traveling from Texas to fucking Wisconsin, all along the Mississippi, trading with each other. It's pretty incredible. Yep, exactly, Snarky. The Toltec mounds are absolutely part of it in Arkansas. Yep, the Toltec mounds are amazing. They are so cool. But yes, the mound building culture are the Mississippians. They are actually also not attributed to any of the tribes we know today, which I find fascinating. None of our tribes that are modern tribes claim them as their ancestors. So when we found human sacrifice bodies on our dig sites, the Smithsonian came in and took the bodies away. Instead of us repatriating them, which is the law in Illinois, the Smithsonian came and took them because we don't know who they were really. And we don't really know who they go to. So they were traveling through sock portals. Yes, they predate all the modern tribes. Exactly, Snarky. So, no, we still don't know. It is a mystery. It is an ongoing mystery. We have no record. They didn't have a written language. And yes, Grace, when there is not a tribe and there are bodies found and there is not a tribe linked to them, the Smithsonian will take them if they are of a certain age, if they're old, if they're especially from an unknown culture that we still don't know anything about. Because here's the thing is, they're usually found from road work or something like the DNR. And just because we don't have the science now, doesn't mean we won't in the future. So part of the goal of archaeology isn't always to figure it out now. It's to preserve the artifacts and the bones and stuff so that maybe in the future people can figure it out. And you know who did that? The people from Stonehenge. In the 1930s, the archaeologists at Stonehenge knew that they did not have the technology to figure out shit about shit. And you know what they did? They wrapped up all the bones that they had found. They put them back in the places they had found them. And they wrote notes on them, like engraved in metal, that said, we don't have the technology for this right now. These are for the archaeologists of the future. We know you will one day. And guess what? We do now. And in like 2012, they took those bones out and they were able to carbon date them. And they thought they were always a bunch of male warriors, and they weren't. They were also female warriors. So, no, I don't think they were giants. Do I think there were maybe giant people at some point? Yes, but I don't think they were those people. So anyway, yeah, I don't think the other people are coming back. If you guys could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner, there is a yellow circle with two arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Snarky, there is no living DNA. Their DNA doesn't match any of the, that's what I'm saying, their DNA doesn't match any of the modern cultures and tribes. I have my theories on who they are, but we're not going to get into that on this live. No, that's a whole different. Thank you, Peter. I'll be staying. Because this is a spooky bedtime story live, not a speculate on archaeology live. That's a Witchy Wednesday topic. Exactly, Justin. There you go. If you guys could write some relevant keywords to spooky bedtimes and cryptids in the story so we could get some more people in here, that would be great. And sharing it out. Hi, Evan. Hi, Evan. I love you. Hi, Evan. My crystal friend. Guys, this is Evan. Follow Evan. He is also one of my friends in China. He's lovely. He's just the sweetest young man, and he is an amazing, he'll take you to all the markets in China. He'll take you to all the crystal places, jewelry, nails, all the best things. He's lovely. He's the sweetest. So feel free to follow him. Rochelle, you would enjoy him too, for sure. He's adorable. He's so nice. Hi, Kaylee. Rochelle, see, I knew you were going to. Me too, Steven. I loved the Goosebumps books, man. The book fair, holy shit. I've been chasing that high the rest of my life. Alchemist? Yes. I think that they were just dinosaurs. Does that make sense? I think we might have the timelines wrong because we actually have no for sure proof because we weren't there. So I think they were maybe just dinosaurs that were actually maybe still living in remote parts of the world that weren't as populated. And do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do think dragons existed. Really, Skrilla? Yes. The Scholastic Book Fair was like a high I've never felt again. It was, man. And my mom would give me money. She would give me money. Like, and I felt so cool. I was like, oh my God, money. And the smells and the posters and the erasers. Man. And every time I'd go in and be like, what will I buy? And then I ended up either buying a Roald Dahl book or a Goosebumps book every time. Because I've always been so weird that I look back now and I'm like, dude, I've always loved this shit. Like, and I bought this one called 13 Moons on a Turtle's Back, and I was obsessed with that book. And it's an entire indigenous folklore book. And when I cleaned out my attic with my mom this summer to help her like clean out her attic, my book box was there, and I got rid of a bunch of my childhood stuff. And of course, because she was holding on to it till I had kids, of course. And so I got rid of some of the old books, and I did not get rid of that one. I kept it, but it was called 13 Moons on a Turtle's Back. And I was like, dude, I loved that book so much. And I got it from the book fair, and I loved it. Yeah, we have adult money now. Yep. That's right, girl. Well, I'm not going to lie. In the winter, there's not a lot to do here, and it gets really depressing. And I work from home, and I already gained weight doing porch lore because I've been so sedentary for like a fucking year, just slamming, crunching out stories and like constantly researching and learning how to literally build a channel, because I also had to teach myself how to do all of this. All of this was nothing I knew how to do. Like in terms of, I knew the tech side, but I didn't know anything about social media in terms of like all of this. So, and algorithms and all that shit. So, in the winter when I'd be like, I have to get out of the house. Hi Angela. There's not a lot to do. And where I live, it's kind of sucks. And so I literally in the winter will go to Barnes and Noble and I just like wander around for like hours doing it, like looking at everything, just playing in the book like a kid, like I did at the book fair. And it's so fun. And then I just go back home and I'm like, fine. I don't even buy anything usually. Sometimes I will if it really catches my eye, but like it's usually cheaper on Amazon. But I just like to go like tool around in there and like look at all the cool things. And it's just like the book fair, but for adults. Yeah, I know, Siren. That's why I have to do it, because like I have to get out of the house sometimes. Plus I got fluffy this winter. I was like, I need to start moving around because I never worked from home before. But you live and you learn, you know? Yeah, me too, Matt. I have to leave the house. Yeah. I have to go do something. I will go crazy. Yeah. So like I don't even care like if I just drive around and like listen to songs for like an hour in the country. Like I just have to get out of that. And so but gas is expensive now. I used to do that a lot when I was younger. But so now I went to Barnes and Noble, and it's actually like it's like a book fair for adults. Plus I feel like bookstores aren't going to be around that much longer. So I try to soak it in while I can. Because I've lived in a lot of timelines and bookstores are going to be gone in this one. And so I'm soaking it in while I can. You know what else is going to be gone, you guys? Helium balloons. So get the people you love balloons for their birthdays and special days. They're like $1. And we won't have them in like 15 years. I know. It's so depressing. Yep. I give balloons to every single person I know for like every single special occasion I can. And they're always like, I can't remember the last time I got a balloon. And I'm like, well, you did now. And then it sits around their house until it completely falls out of air onto the ground, and then they throw it away because they keep it the whole time. They love, like they see it for weeks after their birthday or Father's Day or Father's Day. They love balloons. And Kim, are you in here? And if you've seen Hellier, you know how important a balloon can be as a plot device. Your mom, well, don't your mom and I have the same birthday, Angela? Because Sagittariuses are very whimsical. So the fact that your mom and I have the same birthday and she loves balloons too doesn't surprise me, because we love whimsy. We're not very serious unless we're disrespected. I know, it's so weird that your mom and I have the same birthday. And then Jade has my mom's birthday. It's like the whole coven has each other's mother's birthday, which is very in line with witches. It's very reincarnation-y. Like we're all each other's moms from a past life. It's very strange. Anyway, I don't think anybody else is coming back, you guys. Oh, you're a Sag too, Lori? I'd love to have like a Sag meeting someday and see if like the things I attribute to being a Sag are because I'm a Sag, or if they're just like part of like something I need to work on. You know what I mean? Because Sages, we are you know, I think most, if you know astrology, I think you know. I think most of y'all know. Oh yeah, everybody can be both, but I just mean like I feel like our good qualities, some people would not view as good. Like I feel like to certain signs, we might be all bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, Gemini. Yeah, Deborah, you're the Sages aren't as much as a Gemini in the astrology world. Gemini and the Scorpio and Aquarius are kind of those. But I'm just saying we are, we're kind of frustrating ones, I think. I think people find Sagittarius is a little frustrating in kind of like the best possible way. Yeah, Matt. It was so funny when I told Matt, I was like, you're a Virgo. Oh, I bet you're this, this, this. He's like, how did you fucking know that? That's exactly what I'm like. I was like, Matt, you're a male Virgo. And that's the thing is, Matt, a Sagittarius woman is literally probably your nightmare. Your nightmare. Yeah, it freaked you out because you're not that into astrology yet, but you will be. But yeah, I'm also very annoying, Skrilla. Nate, are you a Virgo? No, I didn't even see that video. I just know Virgos. One of my best friends is a female Virgo, but she's an August Virgo. September Virgos are different. Yeah. And a Sagittarius, a November Sagittarius female is the male September Virgo's nightmare. And to be honest, a little vice versa in terms of partners. What explains it, Nate? Your mom's an August Virgo. Yeah, one of my best friends is August Virgo. We're very different. Very, very different, but we balance each other well. Yeah, that's the fire part. When she's great with people, but doesn't have tolerance for anyone's stuff. Oh, who does that sound like? Not me. Yeah, Sages, we are very blunt and we don't put up with shit, and we're very but that's the fire sign. Is ours isn't anger. Most people think fire sign is, yeah, right. I know, happily rude mom. Most people think the fire sign is because like Aries can be very mean. Aries can be like rage, right? And so can Leo, right? But Sages, ours isn't like that. Ours isn't fire like rage. We don't yell. We're not yellers. We are just blunt as fuck, right? And we don't put up with nonsense. We don't put up with injustice and bullshit, right? So I feel like, exactly, yep. The troll thing is an injustice thing too. It's not even an ego thing. It's not even about me. I don't give a fuck. It's so they don't do it to the next fucking life they go into. I mean, how dare you learn to treat people? You're going to learn today. I'll tell you how to treat people. Do you really, Skrilla? That's smart. It's a smart thing to do. Sherry, I don't think it's called blunt. I think our society calls that because people are so used to masking and being fake with each other. I mean, Jesus Christ, we all literally acknowledge the fact that we have a business phone voice. And that's weird. That's weird. We all just ignore the fact that we're using it. We call each other and we're like, hi, how are you? Can I talk? We all know that that's not the fuck why are we talking? Hello, welcome, right? Like, it's all just made up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so like to me, it's not even blunt. It's called being truthful and honest and genuine and straightforward. And yeah, not everything in life is butterflies and rainbows. So like when I'm telling you the truth, sometimes it's gonna suck because that's how the truth is. But like that's called life, and that's not being mean. That's not being mean. I don't have a mean bone in my body. I literally can't even kill bugs. I let flies out of my fucking house. Like, and I do kill flies sometimes, but I don't even kill spiders, right? So like, it's not mean. That's why when that girl the other night was like, you're so mean. I'm like, dude, are you 12? Go grow your soul a little bit. My God, how long have you been on this earth? And that's the thing, because again, that's not mean. That's literally just truth. Like, so, oh yeah, me too, Millie. I have RBF bad. And I found out when I did my family tree, it's like genetic, like all through the tree. These women look just like Scarlett O'Hara's mean face. So I look meaner than I am. Right, Angela? That's all I could think of. See, that's the kind of insults I have. How mean am I? Go grow your soul is what I said. And I called someone a soft taco the other day, okay? So that's how mean I am. I'm just forward and honest, and people cannot stand a woman that's confident enough to just fucking say that shit. And like not be scared or placate or try to like appease. It's very unfamiliar to a lot of people and they don't like it. Yeah, I called a girl a soft taco the other night, a troll. Hi, Spooky Bestie. I don't even know where it came from. I was like, well, I was also, I'm a blood witch. Okay, which if you don't know what that means, there is a theory, and yes, it is true and weird that it's true. I can't explain it, but they say that the daughters of Salem have their periods on the full moon. And guess what? I'm a daughter of Salem, and I do. They call us blood witches. It's a weird thing. Yes, we're supposed to be the supremes. We're supposed to be the most powerful, blah, blah, blah. The charmed ones, all those stories, right? But regardless, I legit have my period on the full moon. And that's when the trolls always come in. It's because they are always acting up on the full moon. So it's like not a good, it's a bad mix. It's a bad mix. So, yeah, I know we have several other blood witches in here. So, basically, what are you using at work tomorrow? Oh, the soft taco. Yeah. So basically that girl came in and was being just a flat out bitch in my live. And I don't even know where it came from, but I was like, listen, you soft taco. Like, and afterwards, I didn't even realize I said it until you guys told me. And I was like, wait, is that what I just called her? I don't even know where that came from. I feel like it was my claircognizance fucking with me. They're like, throw in soft taco. Throw in soft taco. I'm like, it just came out. Yeah. And I like soft tacos. So like, but again, it does sound like a good insult though. If you're comparing someone to a hard tacos are, I mean, they're delicious. They're crispy and yeah, Jade. I do. I love soft tacos. So I was like, I don't know. I called her a soft taco, but I still feel like it's like a limp noodle. I like limp noodles. I don't like hard noodles. But when you call someone a limp noodle, it's an insult, right? So that's kind of how I guess I was using it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever called anyone that before. It just came out. I love street tacos and they're soft. So like, I don't know. But if I called her a street taco, that probably would have sounded insulting too. Oh, soggy would have been better. Oh, Ellie, thank you. She said I'm not even mean when I'm mad. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is when I'm really mad, like in terms of like, I don't know, like when I'm in like if I'm in a disagreement or argument with somebody, I will not be yelling at them or hounding them. I literally, I'm really mad when I'm silent. I'm really mad when I don't even want to fight. I don't want to say shit. I'm like, I'm not even going to fight. We're not even fighting. Like, whatever. That's when I'm really mad. Is when you won't even, yep. So I'm never like irate. When I'm really mad, I'm literally just don't want to communicate to you at all. I'm not going to yell in someone's face. Oh, you always seem to end up with them, do you, Skrilla? Interesting. That's good to know. Hi, Code Red Trauma. I didn't see you. Did you really, Andrew? What were the two varieties? Grace, me too. That's why I said if I do like yell or like go out of character, I cry afterwards. Not usually in front of them, but I'll cry afterwards. Right, Skrilla. Sorry, I brought up tacos. I know. I broke my own rule. Damn it, Devin. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the new story. And we're just going to go over tonight because fuck it, TikTok's not going to ruin our party. You guys ready for the new cryptid? Mackenzie, I love you. And yes, in case you guys missed the announcement, they changed TikTok Studio and fucked it up, and now none of my backgrounds are the right dimensions. So give me a second, you guys, because I don't really know how to handle this because I can't even stretch it that much without it. So I'm going to have to reformat all of these to whatever the fuck dimensions they've changed this to, which is the worst, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah, Grace. There it is. Thanks, Sherry. Like, I literally have over 100 stories. I do not know how I'm going to reformat all of these. Like, I don't even understand what they did. It's insane. And when I took my little end the live and come back break, I looked it up. No, it's not 9x16 anymore, Peter. Exactly. These are all 9x16. And now it's not. It's longer. It's like, it looks like 18. It's fucking weird. And it won't let me auto stretch it myself. It only does fixed stretching. So when I try to pull it down, it makes the whole thing bigger and it cuts out half the picture. It's crazy. And I'll move the banner, don't worry. But it's crazy. It's really, like, I'm just so over this right now. But anyway, be right back. Thank you, Winter. I actually just read my stories from my YT videos. So these are just the covers from these are just the artwork from my YT videos. I just put them as stills so I can read the stories over here. And thanks for being here. And this is from my other side of my ancestry, folklore. Not the Scottish side, the German side. Grim Soul Taker, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Any chance you want to take my soul to another timeline? Please. Thank you, Jade. Andrew, just don't listen to both or the delay will drive you crazy. Bisbee, thanks for the beautiful summer sunset. You only see when it's coming, you don't take it. Well, damn. Damn it. Could you take me to another timeline? Okay, James, I'll write it down. I'll put this one in a frame. Dag nabbit. Oh yeah, Matt. It looks like it's eating it, doesn't it? But it's not. Those are coming out of its beak. And no, I'm not kidding. You want one, Jade? They have a metallic beak with razor sharp teeth. I don't think you want to give this one cuddles. I don't even want one of these, and you know I love every fucking creature. Is Kim still in here? Because it's a chimera. Beefy, you got the joke. I'm so glad you got the joke. You said it doesn't look like a can. At least somebody got my joke. I love that, Beefy. I love how you got that joke and you aren't even in Kim's lives that much. And you got the joke. I love you, Beefy. You're so quick. You're so sharp. Because that's literally why I was like, is Kim in here? She's the only one that's this isn't gonna fly over the head. It's a chimera. But it literally is a chimera. And that's what's the funniest part. Aw, Beefy, you still are. Oh, you mean in Kim's lives? Yeah, okay. So you were there for the Hellier thing the first time. Okay, then you get it. Because, yeah, they thought that fucking can was a chimera. Just so you guys know, this is an actual chimera. If you're not familiar with what a chimera is, it goes back to like Greek mythology, and it used to be it's like half lion, half eagle, half deer or something crazy, and it became like synonymous with any creature that is multiple creatures in one, like a freak mix, a mutant of different creatures mixed together is a chimera. Okay, this is a chimera. This is what in folklore is referred to as a chimera. Okay, in Hellier, they thought the fucking tin can that they found in the cave was a chimera. Now you see why we were losing our minds over that documentary. This is a chimera, and they thought a tin can was. Yep. So just to clarify why that part I had to come up in a box and freak out about the chimera tin can is this. Because I'm a folklorist and I know what the fuck a chimera is. And those people were just talking out their asses. So if you want to give a goog to chimera, you will see it is a creature made of multiple different creatures. And they're horrifying. And they're absolutely in no way a tin can. They're no way in even association with anything that could be a tin can. They have nothing to do with tin cans. And they don't shapeshift into tin cans. And the whole thing was just, they were just making stuff up and using buzzwords like chimera and it was the craziest. So anyway, yeah, siren. So like a platypus, literally a platypus would be the closest thing we actually have to a chimera, I would say. A platypus and maybe like a seahorse. You know what I mean? Like something like, you know what I mean? A mix of weird. Nanita, thanks for the cow napping. And thanks for the cozy cryptids. Yeah, they were. They were just pulling out words that they've seen other like supernatural paranormal experts use, and they were not using them correctly the whole time. And I was like, I'm not trying to sound like a know-it-all, you guys, but like they just called a tin can a chimera, and I feel like I have to say something. So anyway, just so any of you guys were there, this is a chimera. It's a giant beast that is a mixture of more than one creature. Code red. If you were there, you'd get it. I swear you'd get it. These people were the most pompous people who like fake experts you've ever seen in your life, I promise. Salem, neither did we. Nobody understood it. That's what, and it was one of the biggest supernatural paranormal documentaries to come out in like 10 years. And like everything they said was bullshit. It was Lady Rose. You're here. Lady Rose, did you just get here? I was just explaining to them that this is a chimera. This is a chimera. Do you see the resemblance to a tin can, Lady Rose? Lady Rose gets so mad about Hellier. She just said, please don't do it. She heard. You were here, okay. I love you, Lady Rose. She hates Hellier. I've never seen Lady Rose get sassier than she has about Hellier. I swear she was like mad at me for a whole week. Because it was my pick. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Snallygaster. Hi, E Online. Don't worry, YT, your image is coming. It's just taking a minute to load. There's a major lag tonight, Maleficent, on YT for some reason. Don't worry, it's coming. Gather round the fire, pull up a blanket, and listen closely. Because tonight we're traveling back to the misty rolling hills of Frederick County, Maryland. We're going back to a time when the shadows had teeth and the night sky belonged to a creature straight from nightmares. This is the tale of the Snallygaster. Our story begins centuries ago in the early 1730s. 1738. The dense, uncharted forests of Maryland were being settled by German immigrants who had crossed an ocean seeking a new life. They carved out their farms and built their homes in the rugged, unforgiving terrain near South Mountain. That's right, Melanie. But as the winter nights grew long, they quickly realized they weren't alone in the wilderness. They began whispering of a creature lurking in the dark, calling it the Schnellergeist, German for quick ghost. Over the years, as cultures blended and accents shifted across the Maryland countryside, that name twisted and warped until it became what we know today, the Snallygaster. Now, before we let the firelight carry us too far into the mystery, there's another part of this story that deserves to be told. Because not all legends are harmless, and not all fear was accidental. By the early 1900s, especially during the 1909 newspaper frenzy, the Snallygaster was reshaped into something far more insidious. Articles from the time falsely claimed the creature preyed specifically on Black communities, turning an old piece of German folklore into a tool of intimidation during the Jim Crow era. These stories were not meant to entertain. They were used to reinforce segregation and to stoke fear and to control where people felt safe to live, travel, and exist. Historians today recognize these accounts as deliberate fabrications rooted in racism. So even as the modern version of the Snallygaster has been reclaimed as just another strange Appalachian cryptid with German roots, as we pass these stories down, it is worth remembering that behind some legends, real people were harmed, not by monsters in the sky, but by the fear others chose to create here on the ground. Now imagine, if you will, walking out to your barn on a full moon night. The air goes deadly still. Then suddenly a screech shatters the silence. A piercing sound like the shriek of a runaway train whistle. You look up, and blocking out the stars is a beast that defies all logic. The Snallygaster. The Snallygaster is a monstrous chimera, and those unlucky enough to survive an encounter with one described a massive winged creature, half reptile, half bird, with a terrifying metallic beak lined with razor-sharp teeth. And from its beak hung a cluster of squirming octopus-like tentacles. And it didn't just stalk the woods, it plummeted from the sky. The beast was said to swoop down in the dead of the night to snatch away livestock. And sometimes, if a farmer was caught wandering too far from safety, the Snallygaster would snatch him too, draining its victims of their blood before dropping them on the hillside. The settlers were terrified, but they were not defenseless. So they turned to the old ways, to folk magic. Now, if you drive down the back roads of Maryland and many of the surrounding states today, you might notice something peculiar on the side of the old weathered barns. you'll see large, beautifully painted geometric shapes. But these aren't just pretty patterns. They are hex signs. That's right. They are very old German witchcraft. And among these hex signs, you will often find a bright 7-pointed star. While tourists today might think these stars are just decorative quilt patterns, the old-timers and the witches know the truth. Those 7-pointed stars and all the other geometric shapes on quilts, they were painted on the barns for a specific reason. And the 7-pointed star was to ward off the snallygaster. It was believed that this specific symbol held potent protective magic to keep the beast at bay, ensuring that the livestock in the family sleeping just a few yards away would survive to see the morning light. By the early 20th century, the frantic newspapers, reports of snallygasters slowly began to fade. Some say the beast finally retreated back into the deep, dark caves of South Mountain. Others tell themselves that the changing modern world simply left no more room for monsters. Just in geometric shapes. But as you lie in bed tonight, listening to the wind rattle your window panes, ask yourself, do we really know everything that hides in the dark? We put deadbolts on our doors. We paint stars on our barns. We paint our porches blue. But our world is still vast, ancient, and full of shadowed corners. The next time you step out on a quiet, starless night and you hear a strange cry echoing above the clouds, remember the legend of the snallygaster. Because out there in the deep woods and the high mountains, some mysteries never truly disappear. And that's the tale of the snallygaster. And that is actually where the patterns from quilts come from. They are hex signs for protection. AMG, it's because witches have always had to hide. So everything was done discreetly and secretly to where people are like, well, my grandma never told me that. We're like, yeah, your grandma didn't, and neither did her grandma, and neither did her grandma. It's just those things were passed on for so long without knowing why they're done, and they're all witchcraft, or what is called witchcraft. They're all earth practice, basically. Good night, Pippa. Well, exactly. They don't know what it is, Sherry. Even the people who have them on their barns now don't know why they're doing it. They just think it's pretty shapes that their family did. You know what I mean? Things are passed down and people do a lot of things without even knowing why. Like everybody does Christmas lights and no one's ever asked why. And that's also completely a pagan practice. So but people have just all done it. And that's how folk traditions go, is people just do it. And they don't even wonder where it came from. So a lot of these things come from your witchy grandma who was hiding being a witch, or hiding being the fact that she was not practicing Christian things. She was practicing earth folk magic. Yeah, because they always had to hide. So it will never present itself like you guys think, well, my grandma didn't tell me she was a witch. Yeah, she didn't tell anybody. She was just, like when the people who, they nail things over the doorways, that's also witchcraft, I know, isn't that creature creepy? Like, what a weirdo. Like, why does it look like that? Really, Sherry? That's so cool. Really, Emma? That's hilarious. I love that. Yes, Ash, but it's actually based off of the original illustration of the creature. A dragon kraken. That's hilarious. Thanks, Ash. Yeah, Sherry, exactly. All of that. But that's also, but again, like I said, pagan things are very close to indigenous practices. They're about the same thing. There's just such a stigma to witches because people are just really easily influenced and shaped by how things are framed and spins on things, Justin, are you awake tonight? You didn't get that guy twice. I finally had to get his ass. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for the galaxy, Matt. Love ya. The irony of him coming in while I'm talking about how his religion is literally based off of paganism. What a dumbass. It is hate speech, Jade. And that's the exact Christians I'm talking about, you guys. Right there. They just can't stand to hear the fact that it's literally, we all are basically believe this similar things, and their religion's based off of an older one than theirs. All right, guys, it's time for the diner. Me too, Peter. Me too. I'm proud as hell to come from the original witches. And that guy is also, he needs to be careful. Like I said, you come into a live with 400 witches in it. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. And you insult the Supreme? Not smart. It's not the best move you've made. Yeah, I was just gonna say, dude, we got a fire witch in here. She just said, I'll burn his house down. See what I mean? It didn't shock me, Sherry. That mentality has been emboldened, and we all know why. Christian nationalism is more rampant than ever. People like that are emboldened to act like that. Oh, Scream, you're going to freak out about the grilled cheese. Yeah, Grace, 100%. Oh, really, Peter? What happened to her? Is she okay? Did she pass? Or is she just not in your life anymore? Oh, that's okay, Lulu. I'll probably tell it again tomorrow. I'm sure it will win for a few days. You have a golem, Rachel? Holy shit, really? Holy shit. Really? Oh, I'd like to hear about that. Christina, thank you for the follow and welcome to the porch. How was my birthday? It was just another day. But thank you for asking. Interesting, Peter. That doesn't sound like she was very good then. AMG, that's so weird and sad. I'm sorry. Skrill is left-handed too. Any other left-handies in here? I feel like being left-handed would be so annoying, and I'm so sorry for you guys. Oh shit, Rebecca. Rebecca says I make voodoo dolls. Hell yeah, girl. My ancestors called them poppets, but same thing. I feel like being left-handed would be so frustrating. Especially because I've always been an artist, and I feel like emanative witch people like that are rampant with disgust. They really are, Aya. Thank you. It's crazy. And all I do is try to kindly share that what they've been told is false, and we're not Satan worshiping weirdo, and it's crazy. The hate. Exactly, Jade. Oh, that sucks, Peter. Yeah, Grace, exactly. They don't like that. Hey, Scream Queen, are you going live after me? Or is Lisa going live after me? I've already mixed up what day it is. Did you go live? You went live after me last night, right? So are you doing it again? Oh, I used to get in trouble all the time, Grace. They used to put my desk in the hallway because I correct the teachers. Like, what an annoying brat. Thank you, Christina. Welcome to the porch. Everybody welcome Christina, our new porch pal. Where's Banner Trey? Did he not come back? Okay, so nobody's going on after me tonight? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like, you weren't like waiting on my ass, because I feel bad when I do that. But you just start without me, which is perfect, because I go over all the time, but we still come in raid. By the way, I got a screenshot of the number when it was over 100 for you. I'm so proud of you. And it was fun. It was so fun. Did you guys have fun at Scream Queens Live last night? I know Nate did. Nate was stoked. Yeah. And so did Matt. Yeah. And Eric. Yeah. We all had fun there last night. I really like the, again, like I said last night, he picked two of my favorite past life years. And I love the 1940s radio. I love listening to 1940s radio shows. It really is like something that takes me back. And so he picked one from 1942 and 1946, which were like just major years, just major fucking years. And they were really good. So thanks for having the porch pals over last night, Deza. Thank you, Maleficent. I'm glad you liked it. Oh yeah, and then thank you, Rachel, and the 1934 one. You're right. Sorry, I just focused on the 40s ones. There was one from 34 too. Yeah, it's just nice and relaxing, especially like really late at night, and even like when they're on in the evenings before dinner. It's so nice to listen to when I'm like winding down, and like I'm usually running errands during that time, so it's really nice to listen to. Your favorite cinema is 1930s. That's interesting. Mine's 40s and 50s. Mine's like the Bogey, Hepburn, Bacall, that era. But a little Brando and a little Clark Gable and stuff. I do like the Claudette Colbert from the 30s. Really? I love Claudette Colbert from a lot. And I do love Clark Gable. Nobody, Leela. When you lose the remote. Hey, what kind of TV do you have, Matt? I'll tell you a trick. It's not 2004 anymore, and guess what? Your phone can be a remote. Artemis. Hi. Artemis just followed me. Hello, Artemis. Funny to see you here. Welcome in. I too am a protector of animals and witches. Welcome in. Yes, I love that movie so much, AMG. I love that movie. I love that movie. Arsenic and Old Lace is such a cute movie. It's so funny. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's funny. Robert, which one? Oh, and you dreamed the story. Yeah, that's always weird when that happens. When I used to have dreams, that would happen when I'd fall asleep to movies. Are you? You're related to Mae West? Holy shit. I can see that actually, Rochelle. That's crazy. I can actually kind of see that. That's crazy. She's an icon. Are you kidding? She was like the original blunt woman. She was the woman that was like, is that a gun in your pocket or you just happen to see me? She was the original, like, oh, I can't believe she said that. She was the queen of like saying things women weren't supposed to say. You own a piece of the airplane that Carol Lombardo... No way. When she was coming back from the USO? Cool. But sad. Wow. I love how you know this stuff too. Because I never can talk about my past life with people. And the fact that I know all this stuff fluidly and no one ever can talk to me about it. I'm like, the one from the USO? What? Yes, Mae West pushed the limits. Like, God, what was the other one she always say? Oh, she'd be like, tell me about it, stud. Love her. Is that a gun in your pocket or are you just happy to see me? Oh, really, Rachel? That's cool. And what did she say one time? I like my men like I like my... What was her saying? She was so funny. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, come on. Yeah, there you go, Snarky. Come on up and see me sometime. And back then, inviting a man to your apartment was insane. Good one, dream a little dream. Thank you. Everybody's throwing it in now. Why don't you come up and see me sometime? There we go, Jay. Thank you. That's the one. Jay, thank you. This is one of my favorite quotes. She said, when I'm good, I'm very good. But when I'm bad, I'm better. And that is, I've loved that quote for a long time. That one is the one. That's the one I was looking for. Thank you, Jay. But when I'm bad, I'm better. She was just very unapologetic about her sexuality and her opinions. What? Scream Queen? What? Are you kidding? We all want to hear that. I'll speak for the Porch Pals. We all want to hear that. Too much of a good thing can be wonderful, yeah. Yes, Hugh Hefner was obsessed with Mae West. He was like in love with her. She was like his actual crush before he became, I don't know, before he viewed women kind of the way he did. You know, he loved her. Yeah, yes, we do. Scream Queen, we all want to hear it. Oh, really, Robert? Hey, Scream Queen. Over here on YT, Robert says when he was in your live last night, he fell asleep to it and he had a really weird dream about the story. Exactly, AMG. Exactly, because he couldn't have her. Yep. She made him Hugh Hefner that he became because she said, I'm like a bird, honey. I can't be caged. And she broke Hugh Hefner's heart. And yeah. And then he was like, fuck it. I won't be with anybody ever again. I'll just be with everybody. I don't know what love is. Because that's how men handle having their heart broken. One heartbreak. He's just fucking done forever. Yeah, Lady Rose, he really was. That's what. Well, you know what? He got the. She had huge real boobs. He got a taste of that and then never again because it was very rare, especially back then. And then he just went the rest of his life like, fuck everybody. Love doesn't exist. he was done. So then he spent the rest of his life looking for boobs that were comparable. And he never found them. Jay, everybody wishes they were Humphrey Bogart. He's the coolest ever. I used to want to name my dog Bogey, but I got a cat instead, and he asked me to name him Merlin. Oh, you were right, Minis. We were talking about Mae West and then how Hugh Hefner was in love with her and then she broke his heart and then he spent the rest of his life looking for boobs that were as good as hers. But he also loved her brain, and he always used to say that. And then he just went for really dumb girls after that because he just didn't care. Oh, really, Matt? I love that. Which one? You got a light? All right, guys, it's time for the diner. Thank you, Kusan. That's so pretty. Thank you. Yes, that's the other great one, Jay. She said, between two evils, I always pick the one I've never tried before. Can you guys type in some keywords so we stop getting zealots in here? Can we get some keywords in the chat? Like supernatural, paranormal, spooky, witches. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Matt. Matt. Matt wins comment of the night. Oh, thanks, Scream Queen. I can't wait to see which one you pick. Oh, Jukebox Baby, welcome to the club, because we're all addicted to grilled cheeses now because of this story, and we crave them. And like most of us hadn't really eaten them that much until the story came out, and now we just all like, I feel like they're a pretty regular part of, like, I don't eat them every day anymore, but like we were definitely slamming grilled cheeses for a while when the story came out. I sent a dust storm there, Whitney. Oh shit, where do you live? Where do you live? I'm sorry. Yeah, making us fluffy, right, Siren? Who was it? One person said they gained 25 pounds off grilled cheeses. And I was like, no, no, you didn't. You bought a loaf of bread to make some grilled cheese? Yeah, dude. Everybody's making grilled cheese. Yeah, see, Jade, me too. Yeah, because we've been on the grilled cheese kick for a while, but the newbies still craving it. But during the winter, I ate so much grilled cheese. I can't even. I have no idea how many grilled cheeses I ate this winter. Oh, really, Rachel? Well, enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. Quesadillas count too. It's like an even tastier grilled cheese. But I'm partial because Mexican food's my favorite. It's so good. It's so good. Me too, Jade. It's really cool to see. Everybody shared the pictures of their grilled cheeses in the Discord, and it was really fun. So if you guys want to continue with that, feel free to share pictures of them. It's fun because people make all different kinds. Jukebox said, I'm in bed and I'm literally getting up to make them. Do it. Send us a picture in the Discord. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, Jade, I'm the one that brought up tacos. She said, before I mute you, soft taco. Oh my God, Rachel, you're right. A quesadilla is a soft taco grilled cheese. I love Rochelle. Oh, can somebody share the Discord link? It's also in my bio, Jukebox, but Justin will share the link in a minute, and you can just copy and paste it. I know, I'm proud of you, Rachel. You didn't say taco at all tonight. I did. Rich said my mom is a soft taco. Brent, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. All right, guys, sit back and relax. Happy Monday. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10. Oh, there's the Discord. Thank you, Justin. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Sometimes later, like tonight. So sit back and relax. And submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society, this is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Girl, I don't know anything about Taco Bell's breakfast. I'm not a morning person. The whole reason I love Taco Bell is because they used to be open till like 4. Oh, I bet it's amazing. I love breakfast food so much. I just don't eat it at like breakfast time, and so I can't really ever get it at restaurants because they're like, nope, it's too late. Grace, go get it, girl. I do too. But mine's not open. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. Sherry said yes, she does. She did, and she will again. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through, 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering, like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made the sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. Good night, Maleficent, sweet dreams. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people? They all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet. Like they weren't expecting me. Like I'd walked into the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. Thank you, Rachel. You get caught in the rain, sweetheart, she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers. I sat down at a corner booth. The vinyl creaked, and I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal, sort of. Thank you, Snarky. Thank you, cute OT. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard, drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes, like they were there but also somewhere else. like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. Good night, Jay. Love you. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window, and the storm was still going, but now the wind had picked up. I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. Not even a flicker. The food came fast. Too fast, like under 5 minutes. But it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries, with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect, and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." Scream queen. That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile, walked over collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered. Just once. Then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm. A voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just the wind and the rain, and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. Thank you, Teresa. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate, still warm, and still half eaten. So then I went over and I ate the other half of the sandwich so that Daza could have closure. And then, as I'm smashing the end of the sandwich, I see the waitress. She's standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless, like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step forward. The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in. She raised a hand, and the walls began to shimmer. Literally, shimmer, like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled, and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And then I saw it. Underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran with my mouth filled with grilled cheese. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second I was inside, and the next I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, pulled up with the ceiling missing, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. Thanks, Sherry. No neon sign. No glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No 2 Chainz, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rear view mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone. Not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site. And I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight. And everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article. The same checkerboard floor. The same red booths and the same neon sign. Millie, you're so cute. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little. Because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. Matt. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thank you, Porch Pals. Sweet dreams. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys get some good sleep. And if you aren't able to fall asleep, check out my playlist on my YT channel, the Bedtime Stories playlist. Hit it on shuffle or loop, and you will be out probably by the second video. I hope you guys liked the new cryptid, the Schnellergeist. And I hope you guys get some good sleep. Oh, thank you for the beautiful summer sunrise, Gemini. And don't forget, guys, stay spooky.